gamers, GamingWithMelkor here, bringing you another Clash Royale video. This is going to be another deck spotlight, guys. But as you can see, we're not on my main account, we're not on my free-to-play account, but we are on my level 6 account. And I'm introducing you to Melkor6925 Jr. This is the first time I believe I have used this account for a video. So guys, before we go any further, can you all do me a big favour? Smash that like button, see if we can get 50 likes on this video. And if you've not already done so already, do me an even bigger favour and hit that subscribe button. So let's just have a look at what we have in these chests today, and then we will have a look at the deck that we have been using on this account. Let's just open up this gold chest. Nothing really of interest there, so let's just set that Arena 5 chest going. Obviously we are in Arena 4 now on this account. The reason why I have an Arena 5 chest is because I did beat someone from Arena 5 just a short while ago. So let's have a look at the deck that we are going to be showing you today. That's right guys, the deck consists of the Giants, the Musketeer, the Bomber, the Goblins, the Spar Goblins, the Mini Pekka, the Goblin Hut, and the Fireball. So let's just have a look at how this deck is doing. As you can see, I haven't played this account in absolutely months, so I picked this up yesterday and I played all these battles with this account, and every single one a solid victory. So guys, let's have a look at how we won some of these battles. Firstly, let's have a look at this 3-0 victory here. As you can see, our opponent was rocking the Balloon Giant combo, a deck that I have utilised myself at this level, though I wouldn't necessarily utilise it with the Rocket at this level due to the fact of not having the Elixir Collector. So let's watch this first replay and see how the deck works. The big thing with this deck is getting the Goblin Hut at the back and getting the Giant up front and getting a big massive swarm of low level troops behind as it pushes towards the tower. And that's basically what we're going to do. But obviously we don't have the Giant and we don't have the Hut in our deck, so we're just going to put those Goblins down in the back, and then we're going to put down our Goblin Hut behind as well, because we don't want to keep utilising our Elixir. So our opponent drops down the Baby Dragon and he has that Witch. So we're going to Fireball the Witch, missing the Baby Dragon, which was a absolutely terrible shot, and then drop in the Musketeer. As you can see, this opponent is doing some fantastic work to us, but we're going to take out this Giant before he does too much damage to our tower. Now unfortunately at this point our opponent is going to drop down that swarm of Skellies, which was a fantastic placement, and I didn't put the Bomber down prior to the actual attack. I will be utilising that Bomber on those little guys, so don't worry about that. So we've got those Spar Goblins and that Musketeer doing significant damage to that tower before our opponent drops down his own Musketeer, followed by the Balloon. So I drop down my Goblins to take out the Musketeer and allow the Giant to go in and take out that tower. Our opponent does have that Balloon, but I'm not too worried about it as I drop that Goblin Hut as a distraction. So we're doing some more damage now to that Crown Tower. Unfortunately that Dragon is going to make short work of our Spar Goblins. Luckily our Musketeer will do the bulk of the work to it for us. So our opponent then decides to waste the Rocket. At this point I know I'm playing an inexperienced opponent and it should be a comfortable victory going forward. So I drop down my Spar Goblins at the back, followed by the Giants. Now this is where our opponent drops down a good play and drops down that skeleton army again on those Spar Goblins. Luckily I managed to get the Bomber down and they managed to start taking those out. Now it's just a matter of time of pushing into this tower and see if we can get enough damage on it before our troops go down, which we do for a very solid 3-0 victory. As you can see guys, a lot of these victories are 3 crown victories. Some are 1, some are 2, but the majority are 3. So we're going to have a look at our first victory here, because again it's just showing how the deck actually plays, and the fact that this was a last second 3-0 victory as well. So as always try and wish your opponent good luck, and we will hit that battlefield. Again, dropping the Goblin Hut in the back, and as you can see our opponent does exactly the same. Quite entertaining there. But our decks are quite different, so he does drop down that skeleton army. One surefire way of taking it out is with that Bomber, which he does a fantastic job of doing. Now as you can see we are building up our own little push here already. So I'm going to drop down my own Musketeer in the back to try and counteract that Giant. Unfortunately, we then have to drop down the Mini Pekka, which is going to take out that Musketeer. A wasted fireball there by myself. So our Spar Goblins, Bomber and Musketeer are going to take out that tower, but unfortunately he drops his Valkyrie straight on top of all their heads, taking them out very quickly. The Valkyrie is a fantastic card at the lower levels. He's absolutely deadly because there's so many low elixir costing troops and smaller troops. It just absolutely decimates it. So again, I drop down my second Spar Goblin Hut as our opponent drops down his. And then it's time to start my push. So down goes the Giant, and as soon as I can, I'm going to drop down my Bomber. So then the Bomber goes down to take all those down. Unfortunately, not in time before the Giant goes down. But we are going to take down the Goblin Hut, and then we're just going to absolutely decimate this tower with all these Spar Goblins, taking well over 1,000 damage off that tower very quickly, or taking close to 1,000 damage off it. So our opponent does drop down that horde, so all I do, fireball it. That's a good elixir trade in my book at this level. So again, he drops down that Valkyrie. The best way for this is the Musketeer, which I'm going to drop off behind this Mini Pekka, who's just going to go in and kill it. Then we can start our second push. So we're going to drop down the Bomber just in case. Again, that horde is going to get absolutely decimated. And now we should be able to push on and take this tower. Drop the Giant in the back just so we can continue the push as well. Our opponent does drop down his Musketeer, but it unfortunately doesn't last very long. Bit cheeky there, dropping the Goblin Hut on our opponent's side of the field, but sometimes you've got to be a little bit cheeky. Drop down that second Musketeer. Our opponent does go with that Valkyrie, which is a good idea. Unfortunately, he's not going to survive long enough to make much use. So guys, that was the second one. And let's just have a look for one more battle here. Let's have a look. What do we have? We're going to go have a look at Cabbage. No. Let's have a look at this level 1 victory against Romina G. Again, our opponent does have the Prince in there, so a little bit tricky. And obviously he was in Spell Valley, so he was at a higher level than us as well. So again, we don't have the Giant and we don't have the Goblin Hut. So what we'll probably do is drop the Spar Goblins in the back to alleviate space, make sure we don't utilise or waste elixir, and then drop that Goblin Hut behind. Our opponent decides to drop his Witch and his Musketeer down. Unfortunately, I don't have the Fireball live, or that Fireball would have gone there to hit both the tower and the Witch, as well as the Musketeer all at the same time. So the Fireball goes down, so we're able to take out both the Witch and the Musketeer, dropping our Giant in front now, giving a bit of support by the Bomber and those Spar Goblins. Our opponent does drop down the Horde, and luckily we're able to take that down very, very quickly. Our opponent then drops his Valkyrie, which takes out all of those troops in one fell swing. We're not going to get that tower down, but we'll get down to 365. That Valkyrie and that Mini Baby Dragon are going to start doing some serious work now to us. Luckily, we were able to distract it with that Musketeer. So guys, drop down that second Goblin Hut in the back, and we're just going to start working on this Musketeer as it starts to come towards us. So I'm not too worried about it taking a few hits on my tower. I'm more concerned about that Witch at this moment in time. So all we're going to do is we drop the Bomber down now, and that should help to take out that Witch. Then we're going to start our push. So we drop all these Goblins behind. Again, he drops down that Horde, but that Bomber and those Spar Goblins are going to make short work of them. That's going to give us this tower very quickly. Again, another well-placed Valkyrie and a very poor-placed Musketeer by myself. So we're not able to support that Giant in its push. That Valkyrie does go down, but now he has the Baby Dragon, which is going to get slowed down by these Spar Goblins. Like I said, they're going to do the job though, and they're going to start taking it out ever so gradually. Now I have dropped the Bomber in the back. Don't know why. Bit of a waste, but I am going to utilise my Mini Pekka and this Fireball to take out another poor placement by me. So Where have those troops in front? They was there more as a distraction for that prince. That prince, sorry, yep. So we're going to take down the prince now. That's why we've got the musketeer there. We've got the baby dragon coming in as well. Now we have the Valkyrie coming in behind that witch. So it's all to defense. Giant's going down purely as a distraction for that musketeer. And then we drop down the Mini Pekka behind, followed by those goblins. Another few seconds and we probably could have gone on for 3 crowns. But unfortunately, we wasn't able to. So a solid 1-0 victory. Did you see all those goblins? Oh, they are deadly when they're in bulk. And that's why I love the Goblin Hut, especially these lower levels. Because all you got to do is get it behind the giant and just watch it go to town. So guys, that's the deck. This deck works great at all levels. I have utilised it before on my main account. And it will even work on my lower account as well. So guys, that involves the Giant, the Musketeer, the Bomber, the Goblins, the Spear Goblins, the Mini Pekka, the Goblin Hut, and the Fireball. So guys, that's it from me. If you like what you see, comment below, let me know. If you've not subscribed, do me a big favour and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you gamers next time. Take care.